Hello, it's the Melanated Princess, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm talking all about how to protect your empathy and how to protect your compassion, okay? Now, this idea came about when I was reading this book, and it was talking about avoid the unhappy and the unlucky, okay? It was talking about how when you surround yourself with people who are unhappy, who are negative, who are always unlucky, you will then take on what they're going through. Now, first off, I want to say that there's nothing wrong with being a person who is naturally very empathetic. And I don't want you to take what I'm saying and to take it as, well, don't feel bad for people, don't have compassion, don't have empathy, because that's not the case. But what I'm saying is that sometimes by being empathetic, you end up drowning in other people's sorrows. And that's not a very good thing. And what is needed is boundaries, okay? Emotional boundary. Know too that when you lack boundary in this sense, you allow other people to drain your energy. You allow other people to run and control your entire life, okay? So let's jump right into it. All right. So I wanted to address the fact that as people, sometimes we draw upon our own misery. Yes, things happen. We're not always in the best of circumstances. Sometimes we come upon situations where, not everything is going to be sunshine and roses all the time. But sometimes people, because of the way that they think and the stuff they get involved in, they contribute to their own misery. So you have to have compassion, but at a distance, so that you don't allow yourself, you don't over-involve yourself. Surrounding yourself with people who are, and not everybody's perfect. I'm not saying because someone's going through a rough time or they're not in a good place to completely discard them or, don't give them support. But again, other people's emotional states is infectious. And like a disease, it will spread and it will kill, quite frankly, your own happiness, your own ambition and motivation, okay? And inspiration as well, okay? I'm going to share a brief example without getting, too personal. I had encountered a situation where there was someone in my personal life who was somewhat of a source of trouble. Every time this person was around or, present, there was always kind of some sort of drama with them. There would be family drama, not getting along, and it was really a messy and uncomfortable situation to be in. I think, too, as children, that's part of the reason, guard your children with your life, but as children too, when you see, say, adults in your life or even, friends in your life, your natural inclination is to have compassion for them. But sometimes compassion and getting yourself emotionally involved in a situation that does not concern you, it creates somewhat of a monster. So needless to say, I was very emotionally drained and emotionally exhausted. And two, that is a form of boundaries. Not only is this about, protecting your own happiness and well-being, but it's also for respect. Because when people see that you are someone who they could easily dump off their own miseries on, and meanwhile, while they're back to feeling better and you still feel drained, it's like now they know that you're a target for disrespect. And emotions are something that should be respected. And that is something that should have boundaries, or else things will get chaotic and they will get messy very, very, very quick. It's also important to note that this is where, knowing how to say no to people is very important as well. If you're someone who struggles to say no, that's something that's going to cause future issues. That is also a form of boundary, saying no. Knowing also when to speak up and knowing when to say nothing at all. Because many unnecessary issues take place whenever you do speak up, and sometimes when you don't say anything at all. How does this all intertwine with this idea of protecting your sense of compassion? Well, here's the thing. I've learned that sometimes people don't want a solution. You've ever sat down with someone and they're going through a rough patch, or they're going through an issue, and you want to be that person who gives that person advice. Sometimes people don't want advice. They're giving out all these issues. They don't want a solution. Some people just like to complain, and they don't want to solve their problems. Some people unconsciously don't know that they are vessels for drama. Everything in their life is a big stage play. This thing's wrong. This person's sick. This person's locked up in prison. So learn to protect yourself, your own emotions, to say no. And that is also, you have to learn, that does not make you a bad person. Okay? So protect your well-being and your compassion and guard it with your life. Because there's nothing worse than having other people's issues the reason for your own depression. Thank you.